Hey guys, and welcome back. Today's session is a 30-minute HIIT yoga session using yoga-based training techniques in a Tabata style format to help you burn, sweat and tone. You won't need anything at all, just some space on the floor, a mat if you have one, and whenever you're ready, come and join me in Tadasana at the front of your mat and we'll begin our warm-up. Find yourself in Tadasana, feet hip distance apart, and just take a moment to feel the ground underneath your feet, roll those shoulders back and down, lengthen through the crown of the head, and just take a nice deep breath all the way in, and exhale. From here we'll just begin by rolling our shoulders back and down, maybe 5 times backwards, and then 5 times forwards. Once you've done 5 times in both directions, inhale to lift one arm up, reaching up tall, exhale, reach all the way over to the opposite side. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms, exhale, reach over to the other side. We'll just go for 3 rotations on each side, lifting and lengthening through the center section. Last one each side. And then this time take your arms out to the side in a T-shaped position, and we're going to wrap the arms around the body as we twist to look behind us. So we're just going for 5 or 6 rotations in each direction. And then once you've done 5 or 6, come back to center. Inhale, extended Tadasana. Exhale, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, and come down into your Uttanasana forward fold. So taking opposite hand to opposite elbow, we're coming into that ragdoll variation. And just gently either hang there, swing from side to side, just start to ease into the lower back, the hamstring, the glutes. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. And then exhale, release the hands to the floor. Walk the feet slowly back to the back of the mat. Find your down facing dog position and just begin to pedal through the feet. Opening up the hips, the hamstrings, the calves, the ankles, and the feet. And then from here, we're just going to take 3 lizard lunges on each side with a twist. So you're going to take right foot outside of right hand. Inhale as you lift and twist, elbow to the floor, tap it, replace the hand and step back to that down facing dog position. And then repeat on the other side. So inhale to lift and twist, exhale, elbow to the floor, replace the hand, step back to the other side. So you're going to do 2 more of those each side. Last one each side. Ignore the dog crying in the background, I'm sorry. Come back to your down facing dog position and then walk your hands all the way to the back of the mat. Find your Uttanasana forward fold. From here, heel toe your feet out to the edges of the mat. Find your squat stance. Inhale as you come all the way up, extended Tadasana, palms together at the top. Exhale, come down into your garland pose. Just take a moment there to either pulse it out at the bottom, take a nice deep breath in, and then replace the hands to the floor, heel toe the feet back underneath the hips, and then walk the hands all the way to the front of the mat. Find your plank position, and we'll take a vinyasa. So exhale, low plank or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, press up to cobra. And then exhale as you tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. From here, walk the feet all the way back in toward the hands, coming into your Uttanasana forward fold again. And then when you're ready, inhale to come all the way up, extended Tadasana. Exhale, release the arms. Okay, so this HIIT yoga, like I said before, there are 3 different rounds. You're going to have 5 movements in each round. For each of those 5 movements, you're going to work for 45 seconds, then you'll rest for 25 seconds while I demonstrate the next movement. The first round is strength and stability, the second round is conditioning, and the third round is a core blast round, and then we'll cool down all together at the end. So just take it at your own pace. There'll be different options for different movements, so choose the one that suits you. Don't go too hard or too fast. If it starts to hurt, stop, turn it back a notch, and feel free to pause whenever you need to. So I'm just going to set the clock up. So you should hear this count in every time for every round and count you out. And the first one, so I'll demonstrate the first movement just quickly now. The first one is going to be a forearm plank with a glute rainbow. So come down onto your forearms, you're going to step into that plank position, and then you're going to bring one leg up and over, and then bring it the other way. So think about drawing a rainbow with that leg. If you need to, you can always come down onto your hands and knees and do exactly the same, just in a kneeling position for a little bit of an easier progression. So really focus on squeezing that glute and inner thigh, activating all the muscles in the leg and keeping tension throughout. So I'll start my timer. You have 10 seconds and it's on, so you should hear it count in with 3 seconds to go. So set yourself up in that glute, in that forearm plank position, and then begin. So at halfway, we'll switch sides, just tapping the toe from one side to the other. Trying to keep those hips as low as we can. So really good, guys. You're just coming up to halfway now. So think about switching over your sides.
Halfway there.
So coming onto the other leg. Again, same position, keep those hips nice and low. Tapping that leg from one side to the other.
10 seconds.
Trying not to let those hips move or lift. You've got 5 seconds to go. And relax. Next one, we're in a prone position. We're coming into a locust lift, so arms are long, legs are long. Inhale to lift, and then cactus the arms back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, maybe count to 2, reach forwards again, and lower. So inhale to lift, cactus, exhale to lower. If you don't want to do the cactus, just inhale to lift and lower. And begin. So you can do various variations on this. You can inhale to just lift arms and legs. You can inhale to just lift chest and arms off the floor, keeping the legs grounded. And of course, you can do that full cactus movement. So really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. You're just coming up to halfway. You're doing really well. See if you can get 3 more in. Pausing in each position. Taking it nice and slow. Keeping tension throughout. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rest.
The next one, we're going to come into goddess squat. So you're taking that wide stance, sitting back and down, finding that 90-degree angle. And then hands can just go on your knees. We're just going to simply lift the heels, alternating from side to side. The lower you sit into this squat, so the further you find that 90-degree angle, the harder this is going to be for you. So you've got 3 seconds to go. Set yourself up, sit down, and then keep squeezing those inner thighs as you lift the heels off the floor. So if you want to, you can take a pause in each position. You should feel this burning on your inner thighs as well as your glutes. It's quite a nasty one. It's very simple, but very effective. So if you need to, you can come up as you're coming up to halfway.
Halfway there.
Shake it off, and then reset and sit back down, lifting those heels off the floor. So try and keep your chest nice and high. Keep that tailbone tucked
10
under.
seconds.
You have coming up to 5 seconds to go, and then we're back down on the floor again.
Rest.
So from here, we're going to set ourselves up in dolphin pose. So it's like down facing dog on the forearms, and then we're going to lift into plank and then push back to dolphin. If this is too hard for you to do both elbows at the same time, do one hand and then come back down, resetting each time. So do whichever variation works for you. So set yourself up in that dolphin pose. Forearms to the floor, about shoulder width apart, walk the feet in, find that dolphin position. Head should be through the arms, not on the floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And again, make sure you find the correct position in each
Halfway there.
pose. So making sure when you're in that dolphin, you pull the shoulder blades apart. And then when you're in that plank, keeping those hips nice and tight and low. You have just coming up to 10 seconds to go. And then you're on to the last one of the round. And relax.
Rest.
So we're going to come down onto our backs and we're going to do a single leg glute bridge. So you're going to lift your hips nice and high to the sky. You're going to send one leg up and then you're just going to simply tap your back to the floor as you lift those hips up and away from the ground, pressing into the floor with that other leg. When it comes to half time, we're going to switch legs and try and meet the same number of reps on the other leg. So set yourself up, finding that bridge position on your back, lift one leg up, and then tap the hips to the floor and then send them up high again. So really try and send those hips, squeeze those glutes as you press away from the floor, really squeeze those glutes to send those hips upwards. If this is too much with just a single leg, you can always just do 2 feet on the floor. You're going to get the exact same benefit, it's just a little bit easier. You're over halfway, you've got 10 seconds to go.
10 seconds.
And then you've got a whole minute's worth of rest ahead of you. 3, 2, 1, relax. So the next round is your conditioning round. So go ahead and grab a drink. Get yourself ready. We've got a whole minute's worth of rest. This is going to be slightly faster, slightly hotter, slightly sweatier. And the first movement, I'm just going to demonstrate it to you now. So you're going to come up into that down facing dog position and we're going to come into a tiger curl. So you're going to send one leg up high and back. So you're in 3-leg down facing dog. Bring that knee forwards, curl it under you, tuck, try and tap nose to knee and then send it back. And the most progressive option is to do a single leg chaturanga. So you're going to scoop the body through, keeping that leg lifted and come all the way up into up dog. If that's not for you, you can do without the single leg, just scooping the body through, coming up to up dog. Or you can do a normal vinyasa. So inhale as you come forward, high plank. Exhale.
Let's go.
And then cobra. So set yourself up, down facing dog. Send one leg high. Tiger curl. Send it back. Scoop and up. Once you're back to that down facing dog, send the other leg high. Tiger curl. Send it back. Scoop and up. You're coming up to halfway, so see if you can get one more on each leg. If you need to, you can always come back to child's pose to relax, rest off, shake it all out. You have just coming up to 10 seconds to go. And then we are on to the next movement. So in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Rest.
1. The next movement is a high lunge with a twist. So you're going to find yourself in that high lunge position, sinking down into the hips. You're then going to tap the knees, you twist to look behind, inhale to lift, exhale to twist. So you're twisting in towards your thigh with that stomach. When it comes to halfway, we're going to step forwards, step back, and repeat on the other side. So set yourself up, find that high lunge position, and then when you're ready, lower to tap that knee, inhale to lift and twist, exhale to tap, inhale to lift. You're just coming up to halfway, any second now. So start to get ready to move, step forwards. You're halfway, so step back with that other leg, reset, and then come down, inhaling to lift and twist. So really brace that core,
10
really
seconds.
use those legs. You're doing so well. And then we will be on to the next movement.
Rest.
So we're going to come down onto the floor now for quite a simple movement. We're going to come into our plank position and we're simply going to jump wide with the feet and then jump narrow again. So try and keep those hips nice and low. There's not really a other alternative for this. I suppose you could always do step in, step out,
Let's
or one
go.
leg and then the other leg. So just try jumping out wide, pause, jump in, and you can make it more cardio intensive if you just keep jumping as many as you can. So I guess the progression is to see how many you can get in this round. You're coming up to halfway.
Halfway there.
You're nearly there now. 2 more movements to go in this round. Coming up to 10 seconds to go.
10 seconds.
And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next movement is back to that goddess pose. Coming into that squat, you're going to do a lateral twist from side to side, trying to keep yourself nice and low as you do this. So you're sitting back and down, you've got 10 seconds more rest remaining. So seeing if you can sit as low as you can, bracing that core, and then just reaching from side to side.
Let's go.
To create that dynamic movement. So sit back and down into that goddess squat. Inhale to lift up and exhale to reach over. So just like the warm up, just in a slightly different position, a variation. You're just reaching from side to side, keeping that torso nice and high. If you need to come up and reset, you're halfway.
Halfway
Take
there.
the legs out, come back down and reset. You're doing really well. Just 10 more seconds to go, coming up to.
10 seconds.
And then you're on to your last one. Really good. And in 3, 2, 1. We're coming back to the floor now for a low plank. So option to grip the hands or keep them flat to the floor. Setting yourself in that low plank position, and then you're just going to tap the knees to the floor, trying to keep that tailbone tucked down. So set yourself up. You've got coming up to 5 seconds before you start. Find that low plank position. You can clasp the hands if that makes it easier. Keeping those hips low. Tap the knee to the floor. If this is too easy for you, you could try a few hip taps instead. Tapping that hip to the floor and getting more of a lateral movement as well as a front core or a center section movement. And then you've got just under halfway now, and then you've got a whole minute's rest ahead, ready to burn your core. So I feel like we've done a lot of core already in this one.
10
but
seconds.
yeah, you're gonna be burning more. So you've just got 5 seconds left to go. So see if you can get 2 more taps each side, and then relax.
Rest.
So the next round is a core blast round. It's going to be solely focused on the core, obviously. Grab a drink, refresh in between, and then I will show you the next movement. So the first movement of this round is that tiger curl, but we're doing it with a crisscross kind of way. So we're coming up into that down facing dog. You're going to bring one leg up. Instead of tapping it to the elbow, you're going to tap it to the opposite elbow. Step back and then switch sides. So you're alternating legs, crisscrossing the legs over. The higher up your arm you can get that knee to elbow or even to bicep, the harder it's going to be for you. So if you want to take a moment to just pause in whichever position it is, then just do that, because that will increase the intensity. So set yourself up.
Let's go.
Find that down facing dog position, and then when you're ready, exhale as you tap. Inhale to step back. Exhale to tap. Inhale to step back. If you want to make it faster, that will also increase the intensity, so you can start to bring the legs through a bit quicker for more of a cardiovascular option. Again, focusing on the core burn. You're over halfway, so keep moving. You've got this. You're doing so well.
10
and then
seconds.
we will move on to the next movement. And in 5, 4, 3.
Rest.
The next movement is a side plank. So we're going to do 2 rounds of these. So we're just going to stay on one side, and you're simply going to hold. So you can either stack your feet, leg behind, leg in front, or even knee down. You can also progress this by coming into a star plank. So wherever your progression is, you've got 8 seconds to go. So set yourself up, and we're gonna hold this for the whole 45 seconds. So you're gonna set yourself
Let's
up,
go.
and when you're ready, hold that progression. You're doing really well. You've already done 10 seconds, so it's going pretty fast. If you need to notch it down a bit and step the foot down, if you're in that star, you can. Just go to wherever you need to do today, so you do you. Don't worry about
Halfway there.
what you're doing last week or what you want to do next week. You're over halfway. You're nearly there now. Just coming up to 10 seconds to go.
10 seconds.
And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rest.
We're going to come down onto our stomachs now into a prone position, and you're coming onto your forearms. We're simply going to lift the hips and pull back, and then come forwards into that Sphinx position, and then pull back again in that prone position. So you're just literally coming from Sphinx and then lifting the hips and finding that arch, pressing the ground away.
Let's
Trying to
go.
keep those hips nice and low. Take it slow if you're not sure with the movement. There's not really a scaled option to do this. So just try and figure out where your plank is. Just take it nice and slow, where your hollow hold is. So you're squeezing the ribs down to the pelvis and tucking that tailbone under, and then coming through into
Halfway
that
there.
Sphinx. I guess the scaled option would be to keep the knees on the floor, and the progressive would be to take the knees off the floor and find that hollow as you come through.
10 seconds.
You have just coming up to 5 seconds to go, and then we are back to that side plank on the other side.
Rest.
So rest, take this time. So the side plank again is on the other side this time. Legs stacked behind, in front, on top, star, or even knee to the floor. So the key thing with side planks is we're pushing away from the ground, using the muscle underneath our armpit, our lateral muscles, and pushing the hips away as well. So whichever progression you're in, you should be pushing everything up and away.
Let's
So
go.
set yourself up, find that progression, and see if you can hold on in there. You've just got one more movement after this left, and then we'll be cooling down and you'll be free to go for the rest of your day. So try and keep those hips nice and stacked. Try and keep that core engaged. Try and keep tension from finger to toe. You're
Halfway
over
there.
halfway. And then whenever you're ready, we've got 15 seconds to go. See if you can hold on in there. 10 seconds to go. And then we're back to our hands and knees. So 3, 2, 1, rest.
Rest.
So we're coming back into that down facing dog position for a firefly movement. So you're finding your down facing dog, and then you're going to take the right elbow outside, tap outside of the right elbow, the right knee outside of the right elbow, step back, and then switch sides. So rather than coming through and under, we're going out and around. And again, the higher you can go up
Last round.
with that knee, the harder it is going to be for you. So keep moving through this. Just take it steady. If you want to make it harder, you can go a bit faster, or just try and get that elbow up super high, or that knee up super high, sorry. You're just coming up to halfway. This is your last movement, so
Halfway
give
there.
it your all. You've got this, guys. And then we're into our cool down in just coming up to 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
You've nearly got this. 5 seconds to go. So give it a last few taps and then relax. So come back and sit on your heels, finding yourself in extended child's pose, forehead to the ground, and just take 5 deep breaths. Cool that heart rate down. Really focus on taking that breath all the way down into the base of the stomach, opening up those shoulders, feeling that expansion across the upper back. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then slowly come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to step the left foot outside of the left hand, finding our kind of lizard lunge position. Just open up that hip, maybe take a moment there to pulse, and then we're going to reach back left hand to right foot, grabbing the toes and bringing that heel in towards the glute for a quick couch stretch. If this is not enough for you, then feel free to come down into that full monkey twist pose where you're coming down onto your forearm and kicking back into the hand. And in 3, 2, 1, relax, and we'll switch sides. So taking the left foot back, right foot comes forwards. Again, taking a few pulses in that lunge position wherever you're at. And then right hand goes back to left foot, bringing that heel in towards the glute, pulsing it a few times. And then holding, and if you need to, come all the way down into that full monkey twist, looking over your shoulder, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, relax. Coming all the way up and around onto your bums now, finding a seated position on your mat. Taking the legs straight out in front of you, flexing the toes back towards you. Pull the fleshy bits of your bum out from underneath your sit bones. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Exhale as you fold, reaching nose towards toes. So try not to hunch the upper back. Try and have a nice flat back as you reach forwards over those legs, feeling the stretch in your hamstrings, maybe as far up into your glutes. Take 3 more deep breaths. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale, can you reach any further? And then inhale as you come all the way up. Slide your bum down towards your heels, come onto your back. Take your hands out into a T-shaped position, palms facing down. Lift your heels off the floor and walk your toes in so they're just underneath your bum but on the mat. From here, we're just going to drop the knees from side to side for a few window wipers to finish, releasing off that lower back. Trying to keep those shoulders glued to the floor as you transition from side to side. Last one each side. And then just gently bring your knees all the way in towards your chest. Hug them with both arms, rock from side to side, massage that lower back. And then whenever you're ready, just roll over onto the right side of your body and come all the way up to seated. And we'll take one final deep inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, palms together. As we exhale to the forehead, kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.